All right, welcome back to the eBay shop. My name's Corey.
I'm Teresa.
And we are Grams and Pops Vintage. And today we're going to show you some of the things that sold over the weekend. And we're going to talk about we're going to talk about 5 different electronics items
That we always pick up and they sell fast.
Yep. No matter when we find these, they're almost always undervalued. We hardly ever pay anything for them. And they always sell well for a great profit in our eBay shop.
Yep. We do have limits on what we pay for them, but we try and get them for the cheapest that we can.
We're going to share those with you guys today, and hopefully they'll help you out in your area. But like usual, we're going to show you some of the stuff that went out over the weekend in amongst all this stuff. So what's the first thing that actually sold for us?
We sold an automotive manual. We sold a Haynes automotive manual, repair manual for Toyota pickups and 4Runners from 1979 through 1990.
I believe that's still out of our big box of manuals we bought at a garage sale.
It is, and we only have 3 more of those Haynes ones left.
So these do okay. I wouldn't say they're great, but they do okay for us. And if we get them cheap, we do usually pick them up. And that one sold for how much?
$19.99 free ship. But it will go media mail, so cheap ship. Okay, the next item came out of, I don't even know. I listed so many DVDs or VHS games. Oh, that didn't come out of our lot. That came out of a lot of Wii stuff that we got. We sold the Nintendo Wii Wheel of Fortune game.
Yep, there's that. We've gotten quite a few little Wii bundles over last summer. One of them was completely waterlogged, and we got it for free.
Yep.
And we did get a bunch of games with those Wii bundles, so we started listing them recently, and that one sold for how much?
$9.99 free ship.
$9.99 free ship.
Let's talk about the first thing. The first thing is something Corey always picks up.
Yep, it seems like no matter where we find them, they're always cheap. They're always $5 or $10. Nobody puts any value in them. Sometimes they're a little rusty, and that's the Schumacher 12-volt battery, like the car battery chargers. We find several every year. Picking them up for $5, $10 a piece, you're never going to get hurt on them. I don't think we've ever sold one for under 40.
No.
Most of them are $60 to $90 on average.
The only one we did was that mini one. I think that one was like $40.
Yeah,
it was that
wasn't
mini
even
teeny
a
one.
12 volt. I think that was like a 6 volt one.
I think it was just a maintainer.
Something. So if you're seeing the little black Schumacher battery chargers out there, as long as they power up, they almost are always in working condition. And we've never been stuck with one. Even some that are kind of dinged and dented and rusted up. As long as they're functional, once wintertime hits, they sell.
Yep, and I just like testing them.
Yep. And yeah, we did a little how-to test on them a couple videos ago. So if you need to know how to test them, you can check that out. But you can't really go wrong with them. No matter how many times we pick them up, they always sell. So always look for those and grab them if you can get them for a decent price. Knowing the average on them is probably $40 to $50, but they go all the way to over 100. And like I said, I don't think we've ever sold one for under 40. So
nope, and we currently have one. I just haven't listed it yet, but it came out of our storage unit. So
we actually have a 6-volt one out in the shop too that we need to list.
The next thing we sold, we are selling some more Stampin' Up. We sold a Stampin' Up stitched all around stamp, and it also has the stitched label dies.
I'm not sure what stitched all around is supposed to mean, but it's a Stampin' Up stamp set. So that's it. And that sold for how much?
$30 free ship.
$30 free ship. We'll take it. And yeah, we are kind of knocking those out. We're selling them, and we're going to be selling for a long time, but we're so far in the profit already.
The next item is my second to last one that I have that I bought. We bought those back in March, right? Because we talked about them at the Las Vegas one with some of the people, the Las Vegas get together.
We might have.
We sold a vintage 2003 Good Luck Care Bear that has its matching VHS tape upside down.
That guy. Yeah, I don't want to dump the tape up.
Oh.
It's that guy right there. And he's still got his tags, and we've got the VHS tape with him. That one sold for what?
$22.50. I did accept an offer on that one.
Speaking of the Vegas meetup, we have another meetup that we'd like to share with you guys. And you've probably heard it from us before.
Yep, and I know what it's called this time. It's called the Planes to Profit.
She's one of the people who are trying to organize the event, so I'm glad she finally knows what it's called.
I call it the Midwest Reseller Meetup.
We do have an event in Omaha, February 23rd and 24th of this coming year. It's only, we're getting close to like 80 days away. So if you guys have never been to a reseller meetup, they're a lot of fun. You'll learn a lot just from talking to other resellers that buy different things kind of like what we're talking about in this video, a lot of these things we learned at some point by seeing or hearing someone else buy them. And if you could put yourself in a room with other resellers, you're bound to pick up some more things like this. You're also going to make some great connections for people who are experts in different areas. And that's kind of the idea behind a reseller meetup. So if you're interested, planestопроfit.com. We'll also put a link down below for you. Check it out. We'd love to see all of you guys there.
Come hang out with us and some other awesome resellers.
Back to some more meat here. What do we got?
So the next thing we always pick up when we are out at garage sales or wherever we happen to be sourcing are what I call point and shoot cameras.
Yeah, they look like the little 2-3 inch wide digital cameras, a lot like the, what is it, Sony CyberShot, PowerShot?
CyberShot. I think CyberShot.
I think there's CyberShot and PowerShot, but look for those little digital cameras with the screen on the back of them. A lot of times we're picking them up for $5.
Yep, and selling them for about anywhere from 30 is on the low side, but they go all the way up to I sold one for 120 bucks.
We've had really good luck with them. Some of them, they're not all great, so look them up. You'll get a feel real quickly for which ones are good and which ones are not good.
Panasonic is not a very good one, I don't think.
Some of them. I don't think we've had a lot of great luck with those, but if you pick those up and you're getting them for $5 a piece, they are selling quick. We never have them on the store for more than a couple weeks. I mean, they go quick. They sell very fast.
Yep.
And what we usually do is look them up based on parts value.
Yep.
We assume they're all garbage and they don't work. If they work, it almost immediately doubles the price you're going to sell it for. If they don't work and you've comped it out as parts, you're always going to make your money and you're going to do well on them.
Yep.
That's our take on the little point and shoot cameras. We do really well with them. All right, so what do we actually sell next that needs packed?
This thing we've held on to forever. We sold some vintage Task Easy Tray microwave melamine divided dishes. Our kids think that we should have these at holidays because some of our kids don't like their food touching.
Some of our kids are crazy. And by some, I mean all. So school lunch trays, basically.
Yep. These are
mini. Small. These are small. These would be like
toddler
daycare type trays. But same concept. They're like the lunchroom trays. You put your food in your different compartments. And those ones, you could see like the silverware marks and stuff. They're a little scratched up. And they sold for what?
A whopping $8.99 plus ship.
For 2 of them.
And I have a whole bunch of Tupperware branded ones that I need to get listed because all the other Tupperware ones we listed, we sold, but I got to clean all those and maybe that's a task for this week. Okay, so the next thing we sold was some more of our Marvel lot that Corey picked up that we paid, I think, $7 for a whole lot of Marvel figures. We sold Marvel Universe Legends Series Triton.
Is that who he is?
Yes.
Thought maybe like a weird Aquaman or something. Well, he is, I guess he would kind of be an Aquaman. That's him there. That's Triton. And he sold for how much?
$9 free ship.
There you go. All right, the next electronic that we sell that we can't keep on the shelf, if we buy one and it works, it's gone almost immediately.
Guaranteed within 48 hours.
Yep. And that is Sony Handycams. And there are some Sony Handycam models that are better than others. Always look them up. And the good thing I like about Sony's is if they power on, they almost always work. They test out, like everything else tests out fine. Very rarely do we find a Sony that powers on that has another issue with it. So those have been great for us, and they do tend to be undervalued. Well, they're lucrative, but that's because people don't put any value in them because they're the old Hi8 tapes.
Like the one that I got for free.
Yep.
Not long ago that I then turned around and sold for $105, I think.
Now we do have a cautionary tale about a Handycam.
No, we're not talking.
And if you've been with the channel very long, you've probably seen it. If not, I'll tell you, I'll try and put a link up here for you to go watch that. There is a little bit of caution you need when buying a Handycam, but that video will help you with that. I would say if you can get a Handycam for a couple of bucks here and there, even...
I think with the max we paid is like $20.
Yeah, we'd pay up for a few of them, $20, $25 if it was the right version, because they do sell very well. If you're going to pay up $20, $25, make sure you can almost never test them, so make sure it's a good one you could sell for parts at the very least. It's very difficult to ever test one of these at the sale because the batteries are always dead or missing.
And a lot of times with them, not all of them have the like plug-in charging cord.
Right.
nor do they have the actual battery chargers. So with those, we do, if they're worth a bunch of money, we do go out to Amazon or eBay, and we do buy the actual chargers that plug into the wall so that they can have that and or a new battery.
Yep, we have bought batteries and stuff for them before because it does increase the value. So handy cams are a great snag if you can find them.
Okay, we sold some DVDs. Somebody wants to get educated. We sold some Discovery Atlas, Prepare to Meet the World 4-disc set. I'm pretty sure it's China. No.
Yeah, it's China, Brazil, Italy, and Australia revealed.
Yep.
These kind of like, these aren't BBC. These are Discovery HD, but the IMAX and the BBC and stuff like that, stuff that's not mass produced, not normal movies, tend to do pretty good for us.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know, thinking about where they would use them, I mean, I wouldn't sit down and watch this, but those are good resources for like homeschool teachers if they want the IMAX ones to teach them about animals or different countries or whatever.
I'll bet if you put homeschool in the title or description of these, they would probably sell better.
I might have to do that. Oh, especially with my Sid the Science Guy too.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to have to go do that.
So those actually sold for how much?
Those sold for a whopping $14.99 free ship.
There you go.
But we've had them, those are out of our original DVD lot that we bought a long time ago, and we're already in the profit for that too. Okay, Pops did not keep his word because we sold some.
What are you talking about?
But we sold some LuLaRoe leggings. They are blue with white stars, Americana, one size fits all. Pops said if we didn't sell them, he was going to wear them.
I'm wearing them right now. You just can't see them because the camera doesn't go down there. No. These are the leggings, kind of stars. Well, they're not stars of stripes. There's no stripes.
Nope, they're just stars.
Just stars, and they are LuLaRoe, and those sold for how much?
$9.99, and those came from our friends over at Resell CNY.
There you go. Thanks, Ryan and Paul. All right, one more item or electronic that is always undervalued, and we absolutely cannot keep it on the shelf. And I mean, they're gone a lot of times same day. Is what?
Radar detectors, cop stoppers,
Fuzzbusters.
Fuzzbusters. That's so. And they seem to go a lot. I'm guessing. I know people like to speed. Our highway patrol here in South Dakota, they actually have a Facebook page, and they put on there some of the screenshots that they take or pictures that they take of their radar. What do they call it? Their speed thing, showing that people are going 100 miles an hour on our highways and interstates. But radar detectors, we found some really good one. The one that we found came in our, where did that come? One of them we bought a box that was brand new. Practically brand new. The one that was in the box.
I'm pretty sure we've had 3 or 4 different radar detectors now from different places. We've never paid hardly anything for them, a buck or two. A lot of times they're in a junk box of other stuff. If you have the 12-volt cord for it and you could plug it in and test it, if they power on, they always sell. And they always sell well. We've yet to find a bad one. And we found one it's borderline unbranded. Like there's hardly anything on it. It looks like a cheap knockoff. Like the Cobras, those are really nice and well branded and they look fancy. But even the ones that don't look like anything,
they sell.
They have good value.
Yeah, the one that we had that was in the box, that one went so fast.
Yeah. So anytime you see one of those out at a garage sale or anywhere, look around, see if it's got the cord. If it doesn't have the cord, I don't know. We'd probably look for the cord. I might buy a cord for one because they do sell that good.
Look it up. Don't just go on all of these items. Don't just take our word for it. Do your research. Look them up. Make sure that they are actually worth something. We've fallen into that trap with some people too that we've watched that say, "Oh my gosh, these sell awesome," and we buy them and we're still sitting on them.
Nah, don't worry about it. Take our word for it. These are good. We wouldn't bullshit you guys.
So yes, radar detectors. Look them up.
All right. What sold next?
We sold a radar detector.
We sold a radar detector.
We sold a Rocky Mountain radar, super wide band detector. Oh wow, I cannot spell. Tested and working.
So that's it. You can't see much because we wrapped it up. We saran wrapped the cord and stuff all to it so it doesn't get separated. This is a very generic looking one, and we misspelled words in the listing, and it's still sold in like 3-4 days.
It did. It was. I think it was like 3 or 4 days because we listed it last week and it sold over the weekend.
And how much did that sell for?
$50.
$50. And this one is the one I was talking about. It's virtually unbranded. I mean, there's hardly anything on it. It's about as basic a one as you can get.
It's not fancy. So, out of our lot of waterlogged stuff, no, was that in the waterlogged stuff?
It was. We bought a whole little tote bag thing full of Wii and a bundle of games and 4, 5, 6 controllers.
GameCube.
Bunch of other stuff. Some GameCube items. And they were sitting at about 2 inches of water. Everything. So it took a lot of cleaning and testing and being very thorough to make sure everything was cleaned up and working. And this was one of those items.
That's my sale of the day.
Yep. It's a Pokemon GameCube controller. Everything works. It's been cleaned up and tested.
Oh, nope. You got to redo that. That's not a GameCube. That's a Nintendo 64.
Yes. Nintendo 64. That's what I meant. We're not gamers. But Nintendo 64 Pokemon.
Yes. That was a really good one.
That was sold for how much?
$99.99 plus free ship. And the other one that we had that was actually for GameCube, that one sold for $79. Yep.
Was that the wireless one? Yep.
Last but not least. Can I say that now? I quit saying it for a long time.
Well, you can say whatever you want.
Last but not least, the other electronic that we pick up, typically almost always, are vintage cassette players or boom boxes.
Yep. We actually have one on the shelf back here. Stuff like these. These and bigger. The bigger boom boxes.
The ones that have the speakers that come off and set aside.
Yep. The key is actually plug them in and test them, and not just test them, but find a cassette tape. Carry one in your car if you have to, because if the cassette tape player works, they're worth money and they sell very quickly. If the cassette player does not work, they're almost always garbage. I mean, they can be repaired. If the tape player doesn't work, 90% of the time it's a little rubber band that makes it work that's dry rotted off, and you can fix them if you want to start digging into these. They're just not worth enough for me to do that. So if the tape player works, cassette players and boom boxes are usually pretty good. There's 2 things I check, and that's if the tape player works and if the antenna is not broken in there. If those 2 things are good, then it's like any other normal electronic. Check the battery compartments and stuff, but these have done really well for us.
The very first one we ever bought.
Sold for a few $100, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like between $200 and $300 because it had the speakers that detach. They slide on, slide off. You can put them like around so you can have like surround sound.
Yep. So we've done really good with that with cassette tape players, the boom boxes. We've done well. I know we've sold at least 6 or 8 of them. They don't sit around a long time, as long as they are fully functional. So test them well, and I can't even tell you to pick up a certain brand. Sony is always good.
Yep.
Other than that, I would say just look them up, but more importantly, make sure they work.
Yes.
Or have a good place to take them to a dump that don't cost you a lot of money to get rid of them.
Yeah, we don't have one of those close by here.
I don't think they sell well for parts. They're not like the rest of these electronics. Most of the time, they don't sell well for parts.
No, and the only one I did, only because everything worked on it, it just didn't have the speakers that slide on the side.
Yep.
Was just the base piece, and I think I sold that for like $25.
So that's it. That's our 5 electronics that you can pick up, and they're almost always undervalued, and they always sell well for us, and kind of how we sell them too. But we do have a few more items that are going out today.
We do. We have 2 more items.
What's the first one?
We sold a Yamaha Raptor quad 4-wheeler remote control car.
Yeah, if you guys ever see one of these sitting around and you could pick it up new in box like this, I highly recommend you don't.
Ooh, that's really dusty.
It's dusty. You can see it's been sitting here a while.
It's one of the first things that we bought, I think.
It is. I think we got it at a Goodwill or something. I don't remember where we got it for sure, but we saw it was new in the box. It has been opened and taken out before, so it's, I guess, new in box is relative.
New open box.
New open box. But yeah, that did not move.
No, we had it originally listed for, I don't even remember what, but I ended and sold similar, and it finally sold for a whopping $35.
Yep, and you could tell that took up a good chunk of shelf space. That shelf space was worth way more than that $35.
Yep.
So we won't be doing that again.
Another thing that I found that if I picked them up, they're not worth a whole lot, but we've sold most of them fairly fast after we picked them up. So we have an Indiana glass amber diamond and column patterned fairy lamp, and it's for Princess House.
Yep. So you put a little candle in that thing and you burn the candle. It's got the open top, called a fairy light or fairy lamp. And yeah, even the like Indiana glass is not typically what you would consider high-end good glass. It's kind of the mass-produced stuff, but these actually have done pretty good for us.
I did some research, so I looked it up to find out whether it was Fenton, Indiana glass, or whatever, because a lot of them look the same, but I found a lot of information about the Indiana glass items. So
Yep. So what did this one sell for?
$14.99, and it was on the store for a total of about 48 hours.
Yep. And those are actually way easier to ship than one would think. They're not bad to ship. So
No, and that one you could bubble wrap that and bubble wrap that and stick it down.
they're also not nearly as fragile as most people think. That's a pretty durable piece of glass. They're thick.
It's not like the one of the other things we sold that's a fancy, what do they call that? Footed?
A footed
vase.
A footed vase? No, it's that like Murano glass. That's really, really thin, delicate feeling glass. Like Indiana glass is built like a tank. I think you could probably just throw it in a box and be all right. I wouldn't recommend it. Don't take my advice on that. But I think that's all we had today, isn't it?
It is. So if you find these things out in the wild, do your due diligence, look them up, snatch them up if they're worth it.
Hopefully one of these helps you guys out. If you guys have got any you want to share with us, leave them in the comments down below. We always love finding new things. I think that's it for this video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you guys next time.
Hasta la vista, baby. The next thing we sold, slowly but surely, I'm still grinding on it. I should not have said that.
Did you get the right one?
Yes.
Okay. Said, enjoy your special day,
See how
darling.
it's
Best
stitched?
wishes.
I don't know, that's just what it's called.
What is it? Okay.
They're just the little cameras. I don't. Okay. The next. I hate saying the next thing. Do your research and look them up because
She said doo-doo.